Are you looking to create multiple life-changing passive income streams right there from your computer? Well, then you're going to want to stick around and watch this episode in its entirety. We're going to look at how you can create professional AI-generated pictures just like you're seeing right here, and then use those to create passive income to change your life. So make sure to stick around because you don't want to miss this one. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the AI Review. Today is going to be a good one. We are talking about making income, specifically passive income, through AI-generated images, text to image AI-generated pictures. This is the perfect time to be jumping in on this. This is something that is not going away. It's an industry that's growing like crazy. You want to be on the front end of it, and we're going to talk about a few different things today. The first part of this, we're going to talk about several different ways, three kind of broad categories where you can make money right now. You can make money, and specifically you can make money passively with all these we're going to talk about, actively and passively, through your AI-generated artwork, AI-generated images. And then after that, we're going to talk specifically about a free way to create AI-generated images through Canva. There's a couple different ways to do it right now, making AI-generated images. Not many are free, and so we're going to look at Canva. But first, I want to dive into a few different things you can do, and this is going to be surface level. We're not going to dive into the real extreme level of how-to with some of this, although I have some other videos that dive into some of it. But we're going to look at three quick categories how you can make money. First off today is print on demand. Now, you might hear print on demand, say, okay, whatever, I've heard of that, I'll move on. But I want you to listen to this real quick. Whether you're familiar with print on demand or not, there's some really neat opportunities right now in the AI space. So first off, just real quick surface level, if you're not familiar with print on demand, it's a way that you can create and sell products. Usually when you say print on demand, t-shirts are the first thing that come to mind, but you can create and sell products like any t-shirts to coffee mugs to hats to pillows, all sorts of merch you can sell online. And the way you do it is you create the design for this product. You list your design for sale through a lot of different outlets. Amazon has a version of print on demand, Merch by Amazon. It's my favorite. You can see that right here. You can see there's sites like Redbubble. There's sites like TeePublic, right? There's all these different websites that people are using to sell their print-on-demand services online. There's other independent sites, Printful and Printify, that fulfill independently. You can sell off your own website. And what they do is when somebody buys your design, the company you're working with will create your item on demand, meaning they will take your design, they'll create the t-shirt or the product, and then they'll fulfill the shipping and delivery of it. So you can literally, with most print-on-demand services, is perfectly passive. Some of them, like Printful, Printify, you may do some of the customer service back end, but most of this, you sit back and it sells. You make money. Merch by Amazon here is my favorite. Right now, I'm making about $500 a month off Merch by Amazon, although in the fourth quarter, the last quarter of the year, I usually make $1,000+ per month. So it's not quit my job money off print on demand, but it's all passive and it's constantly growing for me. So what you can do is really pretty simple, right? You can create these images using text to image AI. And so if you're like me and you're not a great graphic designer, this is amazing because, it allows me to make these professional, unique images with a little bit of creativity and come up with professional, unique images that can sell on t-shirts and on, sweatshirts or, whatever, so many products. But I don't have to have this incredible skill. Also, even if you are a good graphic designer or you're a decent one, this speeds up your process so much, right? And it can't hurt to create these designs, put them out there. It's what I do, and just let them sit out there and sell and make you money. So first off, just print on demand. It's a great option to use your text image AI-generated images to create passive income. Next is selling AI-generated artwork. And this one I'm going to try to just leave brief because it's pretty simple. This is just selling digital files online. There's opportunities for this in and around the Etsy space, but the main ones for AI generated artwork. Adobe has it, the Adobe Contributor portal, the Adobe Contributor program. There's an option to sell AI generated artwork. People can use on their blogs or on their publications, whatever they want. My favorite right now is this service here, Artsy. This is specifically for buying and selling of AI artwork. That's the whole site. It's pretty new. Came out in 2022. It's the perfect time to be in on the front end of this, right? I mean, it's so new. When you look at a lot of these services like print on demand, for instance, what we just talked about, the people that were in the early days, like on Amazon, are still making a killing passively years later because they got their foot in the door early. This is where you want to get your foot in the door early. If you want to check out Artsy, I'll leave a link down below in the description box, and you can check that out here. Where you can go check in on it. I'll also, with that link, I'll leave a video. I have a video tutorial on Artsy, walking you through how to upload those images and get started. I'll link that video as well, so you can check it out if you're interested. The last one I want to mention, this is kind of the one that I've been diving into the most here lately because I'm excited about. This is creating AI generated illustrations for self-published books through Amazon KDP. Now, none of these are new per se. You may be familiar with some of this stuff. And KDP specifically, it is very much like typical print on demand. It's very much like if you're producing shirts and that sort of thing, except it's basically with books, to put it simply. So the idea is you write or create a book, you have to create the cover art, the back, the spine, everything. It has to be formatted. You upload it to Amazon and people can buy your books. And when they do, right, Amazon manufactures your book on demand and facilitates the shipping, and they do all that back end work, send it to them, and you get a royalty on the sale. It's just like print on demand, but for books. And the reason I'm so excited about KDP right now, what I've been doing is I've been playing around. And I'll probably do, if you're interested, just let me know. I'm looking at doing another video on this specifically, but I've been making children's books using Amazon KDP. I've been using ChatGPT to help write scripts, and I've been using AI-generated images for the illustration for children's books. And so again, if this is something you might be interested in getting a tutorial on, just let me know down in the comments, and I'll look at making another video. And the reason I like this, if you're familiar with KDP, it's not a new service. People have been using it for a while, and it's very popular in what people call the low content or no content space. So basically, people will make things like line journals and puzzle books and possibly coloring books, things that don't always take a lot of extreme skill. It's not writing a book. It's something really simple and cheap that can be mass produced. And people started doing it years and years ago, and some people did really well. But what's happened is it's very, very saturated, right? Like a lot of things. I mean, there's people that have been uploading hundreds of line journals every day for years and years now. I can't imagine how many millions upon millions exist on Amazon. And so the competition is pretty significant. However, the competition centers around those low content, easy to mass produce books. Children's books have never been considered low content. And the reason why is because, number one, it takes a lot of work to write a children's book, right? Just a short children's book, but still takes work, creativity. But number two, and this is really the biggest thing, the barrier to entry is pretty high from a cost standpoint because of the illustrations. The illustrations are can be very expensive. To hire an illustrator to illustrate a book can cost hundreds and even thousands of dollars. So it's a huge barrier of entry unless you can make high quality digital illustrations yourself, which most of us can. I can't. And so barrier to entry being really high, there's overwhelmingly less competition. Okay. And so because of that, there's not a ton of it out there. Well, guess what? Now that we have AI generated images, you can illustrate your own children's books, right? And so this is really the ticket. And there's probably so much more you can do. That's what I love about the AI space. It's so open-ended with a little bit of creativity. There's so many other avenues of what can be done here. But these AI generated images, ChatGPT making children's books, this is where I'm focused, and this is what I'm doing well on right now. I haven't put as much effort into KDP as I did in years past. I'm making, $200-300 a month right now, but that's because I'm just really getting started in this children's book space, and my returns and my conversion rates on these children's books are much higher than all my other types of puzzle books that I've had in the past. And so lastly here, I want to look at some of the options to sell AI generated work on the freelance sites. Now I want to be careful. There are some rules with like Fiverr, as you can see here, Upwork, and there's a couple others, but there's lots of different ways you can utilize AI generated artwork on these sites. I was looking just the other day as I was doing some research for this project, and I was looking at some costs for illustrating children's books. And I immediately noticed one of the quote illustrators here on Fiverr, the illustrations they were using were clearly coming from Midjourney, which is probably the most well-known text to AI generated or text to image based AI image generator out there. I could tell the style clearly from Midjourney, and they were one of the top rated sellers. They were selling like crazy, and they're using these AI generated images. They're not doing their own illustrations. They may edit it a little bit because you are supposed to edit some of it. But they're using that to sell services on sites like Fiverr here, or Upwork. And so you can, if you're creative with this, there's so much that you can think of, whether it be just selling graphic design. You can niche down in graphic design in certain different areas and certain different things, whether it be illustrating for kids' books, creating illustrations for blogs, right? You can niche down and create a bunch of different gigs on Fiverr, and you can advertise certain styles of pictures. And the great thing is you can sell your services here, and you don't have to be a graphic designer, right? And it's really funny. You can see on my Fiverr some of the things I do. I have a bunch of different things I do on the side. I write grant proposals. I do voiceover work. It's just funny when we see people's Fiverr profiles. But my point is, if you're creative with this, you can sell your graphic design services, creating these images, sell them directly on the freelance sites. So many options if you're creative. But like I said, really niche down and see what types of areas you can sell your graphic design services in through these freelance sites. And so those are the ones I kind of said three because I looped in print on demand and Amazon KDP, but it's really four at the end of the day. You've got print on demand through things like Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic, Zazzle, so many others, Spring, ones that you can sell those t-shirts and pop sockets and all kinds of stuff, make passive income. There's the sites like Adobe and Artsy here where you can sell the AI generated artwork and make passive income. You got KDP, which I mentioned. You can make children's books and things like that, illustrate yourself, passive income. And then the last one, this is not passive, but these online freelance sites, you can sell graphic design type services and image generation directly freelance. And so right here, these are four options, three of which are completely passive to create income, life-changing income for yourself, right? So with all those options, and there's so much more. As you get creative with this, there's so much you can come up with. That's what I love about this space, is it's still so early, and there's so much, just be honest with you, there's so much money to be made if we're really good and creative with this, and it's been kind to me so far. And so with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next section. We're going to look at the how-to when it comes down to creating these images on Canva. All right, everybody. So now we're going to dive straight into Canva, specifically looking at doing AI-generated images. Now, I want to say pretty quickly, if you're not familiar with Canva, and you may be, I use Canva for all types of stuff. It's an online browser-based graphic design software. Although it does more, it does video, it does all sorts of things, really, as we're going to see here. It is perfectly free to use, although there is another version, Canva Pro, and I do utilize that. That gives you more resources and tools, and you'll see some of that. But what we're going to be looking at today is available in the free version, which is why we said this can all be done for free. Now, with that said, I do want to mention very quickly, there are a handful of different AI text to image, AI softwares out there available now. Many of them are paid softwares. You have things like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, so forth, so on. And these are really great services. They really are. But again, the purpose here today is free, and there's a couple of different options out there, but we are going to be diving into Canva's option. So first thing when you get started on Canva, you can create a design. There's all sorts of different templates, and you can create it, size it however you want. You can see they have all sorts of different templates available on here. We're going to do, because just as an example, we talked about, say, print on demand earlier. And so we're going to say, let's do like a t-shirt. So we'll just click t-shirt here, and this will give us for a t-shirt. Now, this is if you're doing print on demand, the size you're using is going to depend on the service. So like Merch by Amazon is a little bit different, but you can create custom sizes. Not a big deal. With that said, you'll see immediately over here, Canva's great. It has so many templates as you scroll through, and of course you can search for more, and this will just keep going and going and going and going and going. There's so many options. You will see some of them have this crown, or actually most of them have this crown. That means they're Canva Pro, but there's plenty that don't. You can see here, which means they're available for free. We're not here to look at the templates, but I'm just showing you tons of template options for something like t-shirts. Okay, but we are looking at AI generated images. So how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to do is, if you look over here in the sidebar, we're going to scroll down and go to apps. We don't have to scroll down and go to apps, and you can see this is what we're looking for, text to image. It's only there because I've used it recently, but if you go down, you click on apps, okay, and you can search for apps. There's trending, you'll see popular, create something new. Again, there it is again already, because it's so popular, it's showing up at the top. But either way, if it's not just showing up, you can go to search for it. You can type in text, not texty, type in text to image. It's right here in the drop down. And boom, you'll see it's the first one, this purple one, right? Text to image. Now, if it's your first time using it, it'll ask you something along the lines of, do you, want to use this app? Just okay, not a big deal. Like I said, it's all free. Now, you'll see the way this works. It's a little bit different from some of the others. So if you've used something like Midjourney, it's just prompts. You're just typing in what you want it to show up, and you can be pretty descriptive. This one utilizes specific styles. So the first thing you do before you get started is you click on a style that you want to use, right? Rather than writing in a certain style, you pick the style that you want to use, and I'll give you some examples of what these look like here in a second. So we'll start with vibrant. Clicked on vibrant, okay, and then you'll see aspect ratio, square, landscape, portrait. Pretty obvious enough. You can kind of resize it once it's in there, but these are three options. We'll just keep it square for the sake of what we're doing, and then beyond that, all you do is you type in a prompt right here. Okay, so I'm going to try dog running in the grass, right? Or dog running in grass, whatever. Like it doesn't, I'm just kind of picking a random example. Now, before I search, one thing I do want to communicate, one limitation here using a free service, you do only get 100 generations every 24 hours. Right, so you're only allowed to generate 100 images every 24 hours, and it generates 4 at a time. So you don't get infinite generations, and you'll see as we go, some will be more usable than others. So that is a limitation, but again, this is free software that we're talking about here, and you can utilize 100 images a day, right? So just as an example, we're in the vibrant style, dog running in grass. Let's create our image, and we'll wait on it this first time. Sometimes it goes quicker, sometimes it goes slower. I have a lot of things running on my computer right now, but okay, boom, popping up here. So rather than click on them, I'm just going to zoom in for the sake of ease. But look at some of the ones we have, and some will be more usable than others, right? But right off the bat, you can see a lot of these are really good. This one right here is really cool looking. I love that picture of the dog. These are actually decent quality right off the bat. Things kicking up in the background while he's running, right? I mean, this is really good quality stuff, right? And so those, pretty straight. And you can click create again right here if you want to just generate 4 more of the same style. But let's try another style as an example. Go to neon next. Now that's under neon, I'm going to click create again. And I'll start skipping through these so you don't have to wait for it to generate each time. Okay, now Neon is done. Now, what's interesting about this, you'll notice you get some weird effects. You got some purple ones and some different styles again. But these still, a lot of these are really cool and give some really neat effects. And if you want to generate more, you just click create again, right? It's really simple. And I just want to give you a couple different examples. I mean, but this, I do want to say though, this is pretty much it. Like, I mean, this is it. This is really this simple, creating these images. And then I haven't done it yet, but if you click on an image, it'll be added to the page, and it'll also be saved under your upload, so you can re-access it later without having to generate it again. Use one of your generations, which is really cool. But let's try Dreamy now. All right, here's Dreamy right here. These actually aren't the greatest that I've gotten from this. But I will say I'll throw this out. Some of these images, see that some of them are off center, and that's okay. I would normally just generate again, but this was a really good one. I wanted to point out, this is a great option. I've been using this for my Amazon KDP books. These illustrations look great in children's books. It really kind of fits the style of a children's book. And I've been using this a lot, Dreamy. Well, I wanted to show you this one right here. And let's just do one or two more. Here's an interesting one, retro anime. Let's check this one out real quick. All right, so here we are. And now you can see already a very different style. And this is where it gets fun. You can experiment with all these styles and see what you've got. Just some really neat looking, some interesting looking pictures, but like ones like this are really cool. And like I said, you can just keep regenerating more and just see the breadth of style that you can get. I'm going to do one more really quick. Where are we at? Let's do retro wave. This is interesting. And let's see what we get here. All right, so here's Retrowave. These are okay. They're not the greatest, I can say right off the bat. You'll see some differences. So this one almost looks more cartoony, right? But some of them, this one right here is pretty neat, the unique look. But there's just so many different options. And like I said, you'll want to go through and just play with the different looks and aesthetics. You'll see the art styles as well, depending on what you want to do. And you'll realize, some of these, like I said, I like that. I like the Dreamy there is great for the children's books I've been playing with. And again, just a quick example, when you click on it, it's just added to your image. And you'll see I can resize things as I need to. I can, if I want to zoom way in on our little doggo here. And like I said, that'll be added. If you click over here on your uploads, you can see it's added right here. So now I can re-access it whenever I need to, right? So yeah, that's basically it. And then here on Canva, what you'll do, you can title it and save it however you want. And then you can print t-shirts. They have a whole service. You don't really need to bother with that. You'll just want to download it yourself. So you'll just come over here if you click share. And then you can see there's the option to download right here. And so you click download and you can download, like I said, PNG is probably what you want to go for right here. If you want to download a transparent background or anything like that, you do have to have Pro. But this is not, it's not going to print a transparent background on this picture because it considers the whole picture, the picture, right? Doesn't really matter. But the point is you can print these off, edit them in another service. I know this picture right here isn't a great one. I'm just using this as an example. But yeah, that's really it, guys. That's creating these images in Canva. You can size them, like I said, however you need after you've generated. You can also do the different sizes as far as like landscape and the square and all that sort of thing, depending on exactly how you want to utilize them. And I will say that you do need to do a little bit of editing. That's the last thing I want to say, a little bit of editing on these, overlaying some text, different things like that, to use them commercially. Make sure to follow all of Canva's rules. You can find right here, dig through, but you're going to want to zoom in, put some, like for children's books, I'm putting text over it and things like that, and making some small edits to the images themselves. But yeah, I mean, that's really it, guys. Those are AI generated images on Canva. Like I say, you get 100 of these a day. My recommendation, if you don't use Canva already, go download it. You can use this for free and just play around with it. Play around with these styles. Use different ones. Try different options. There's even it can give you some examples, like when you first access the text to image. Um, you can get some different there's an option to generate like examples when you first access it. So but regardless, just type in stuff, play with it, see what this service can do. um, and yeah, go make some money, guys. Like I'm saying this, I know people, online gurus, say stuff. I am using this right now to make money. I have children's books selling that are making money. I have t-shirts selling that are making money. I have AI generated images that are selling and that are making me money, right? I'm making money on all this stuff. I'm making passive income on all of this stuff. And so that's it, guys. Dive in, man. Put some time into this, and you will not regret it. You will be making passive income before you know it. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask down in the comment section, and I will be doing some more videos dealing with this, and I'll be doing a little bit more of a deep dive into what it looks like to create t-shirts and create these children's books with these designs, and doing some more tutorials. So I encourage you to subscribe and keep up to date with some of those videos, and hope to see you on the next video.